was, how much were you recognizing what was going on out there in front of you, and how much were you getting from upstairs from his bar?
I was doing everything I could. I just knew that to pass him, I needed to get to his left rear and pack air, and I did everything I could. I just couldn't quite get close enough. So, I'll have to go back and see what I could have done differently to try and keep the lead a little better. I definitely struggle to be consistent enough out front to hold the lead at this track, and it was the same in the spring. So, I just got to do a better job.
Why do you feel like the leader couldn't get away tonight?
I think a lot of it was the wind, and you were getting big runs down the straightaway in the draft, and I felt like me, the 2, the 7, and obviously the 19 were all just very similar. So we had different strengths, different parts of the runs, and we made speed in different places, but it all kind of netted out, and we were all very similar.
Where did the wind give you the boost?
It was headed out the back straightaway, so it really affected you off 4 into 3. You really felt it down there, especially with these gusts. There's some big gusts out there that you can feel.
You've been so dominant. Obviously, you would have liked to got the win today, but do you appreciate being able to race with guys like you, and learn from him, who's been around all this stuff?
Yeah, I definitely learned a lot from him, and part of why I'm so aggressive packing air is because he does that to me, and it's frustrating when he's behind you because he's always looking to do it, and it's just the way you got to race, and he's very good at it and very smart, and you can tell he's been doing it for a long time. So I try and learn as much as I can from those guys and try and apply it to what I do, but I still have a long way to go before I get to those guys.
You'll be up there with those guys next year. So, what is your biggest takeaway so far from this year as you continue to build your own personal world for 2026?
Yeah, it's just going to be a lot different in the Cup car next year, so it's hard for me to really compare the two. But just reps are really important at all these new tracks.
Connor, obviously it's not a win, but you're really good on points coming into this. You expanded that points lead. What can you take away from a day like this with 2 races to go in the round of 8?
Yeah, it's great to have an 82-point lead to the cut line. It gives us not a lot of comfort, but definitely some comfort going into the next 2 races. If a guy that's under the cut line wins a race, and it can quickly change the playoff picture. So we got to keep our heads down and keep trying to score points.
Connor, you lose to a Cup race experience. Do you feel about it, or do you feel like you're not coming on? This guy is a pretty good racer.
Yeah, if you asked me that with 1 to go, I'd tell you I suck and I need to hang it up and find a new sport. But you ask me now, and I'll tell you, you're just not going to win them all, and that's part of it. I did everything I could. I tried as hard as I could. I threw every shot I had at him, but his experience definitely paid off tonight, and I could have been a little better as a driver, but I think after 10 laps in a run, I just struggled. I was just pretty loose and struggled to wrap the line like he could.
Connor, it's been a season of milestones for you. 19 consecutive races with laps led. You surpassed 1,000 laps led in a series this year. Just taking a moment to pause and reflect on what the Xfinity Series season has been for you as you get ready to go into Cup next year.
Yeah, no matter what happens, the rest of the year, I'm really proud of my entire 88 group. We've had a pretty spectacular year, and just being able to come out and do this in one of the most competitive series in the world is really cool. So I'm definitely trying to enjoy it, but at the same time, the most important part of the season's coming up. So we got to keep our heads down and just try and finish these last 3 weeks out as strong as we have been the last few months.